Good morning. Let's get Dune build running. All right. Okay. There's something I wanted to look into. One of the problems I'm having is that Melange doesn't have a good binding for the promise exception. So if we go look at, I think there's a Melange promise library. How are they using promises in here? So they are using JSON promise. Good morning, Concavity. How we doing? Good morning, Count Oren. Oh shit, a dev dad raid right off the rip. I welcome the crazies. How was your stream, dev dad? We're just getting started here, raiders, so bear with me as I wake up a little bit and we hit the ground running. We are going to find the promise docs. I got bounced 2 times already. Smarties are legit candy, not gonna lie. Have you tried like the gummy or like the chewy Smarties? They're pretty damn good. So part of my problem right now is that Melange, and I think this is left over from the buckle script days, they have an opaque type for the error. So when we reject, we can't get the actual error message, which is a real big pain in the ass. I did find, though, in the... I should open an issue for that. I wonder if there's an existing issue. Thank you for the follow, Lido LCG. Appreciate you hanging out this morning. So let's go look for just Melange. And yep, right here. We want to look for issues. Let's see here. We'll come back to that. But if you go and look at the actual library for promise, we'll find this function right here, errors exception. And this effectively converts the exception, the error to an exception, which is kind of what I want, but it's commented out and I don't know why. But that's fine. We can just use our own error message for now. So what we're starting with this morning in our journey to 1.0.0 is we are taking all the functions in this file that are currently doing synchronous file system operations, and we are converting them to be async. I already wrote all the code to bind to the asynchronous versions of these. So if we go look in our FS extra, we've got sync and async versions of each of our functions. We just now have to go use all the update all our calling code to use those. So let's check where our current issues are. About any other? Do a clean. And let's get Dune running in watch mode. Okay, and we want to go look in our scaffold file. Yep, okay, this is what we would expect, because this now returns a promise result. So what we really want is let's star, and this is going to return us a result. We actually probably want some syntax to unbox a promise result. So let's jump into our let module, and let's say let pipe. We'll get we want to do like a promise, a function, and then it'll be JS. Yeah, we basically want this to start, and we want a result.bind. We have to go look at the right syntax for this. I have this in another library. Let's go back to our OCaml playlist, Spotify transfer. Man, I can't wait to get back to working on this. It's been too long. We want to yank this one. And we want to go back here, and let's paste this in as an example. So how do we want to do this? We're going to say let pipe our promise and our function, and we're going to say result.bind. Is that all we have to do? So what's this saying? We're going to take a result, a function that takes the A value, returns a new result. I think that's what we want. Let's go see if that's right. Because these excuse me. All right, if we come back in here, we should be able to use our let pipe, possibly. So we did that wrong. So we almost want to do js.promise. Thank you for the follow, Power Rangers. let pipe var equals res lifts a OK error result. Res, oh, it lifts a normal one into a promise. Ah, right, so we're doing that wrong. That's actually not what we want. Let that lift a, no, we don't want to lift into a result. We really want to go look at what this does. Yeah, we probably want to grab that. And let's go here and throw that as a comment. So if we copy that definition, wait, that doesn't look right. Bind E. What is the type of this? I guess maybe. So let's try writing that. So we say js.promise.then, because our then is similar to bind, and we give it the promise, although it's backwards. We have to give it the function, and we say inside your head. I guess we give it. I do not have experience with standard ML. OCaml was my first ML language. Sorry, I probably can't help, but I apologize, man. I wish I knew SML. We're gonna bind. Without the inner resolve. All right, let's try that. Boom. Although we want to pattern match bind on our value. Then's weird because it's not technically monadic. So it's a little weird to think about. So the function we're gonna match, we can change in this and we can say function and we'll just say error E and then we'll say, we'll return js.promise.resolve, and this will be an error E, and then we say okay, and this is where we get an X, and we say f of X, something like this. That looks pretty close. That might be right, actually. We take a promise result. We map on it. Yeah, that actually, I think we might have just got that right. Let's jump back to our actual code. And, hell yeah, that is right. All right, what's this subset about? In terms of string promise, we have to resolve this, right? So we just say, okay, just say js.promise.resolve. There we go. Sweet. All right, let's go write the comment for that. No, that is not even close to what that does. Let star var equals, I'm just gonna go gank this syntax again. Do we have, I guess that doesn't even have good. I'll ask Copilot to write this, or I should just try to write it. All right, so let var equals, yeah, there we go. Finds var to v when that is that. Sure, that's close. Thank you for the follow, Rasmus. Appreciate you hanging out. All right, so we have that now. And we get back a promise result. Good. So I think if this returns our error case, it's just gonna return like immediately. Okay, that seems reasonable. Let's go. Yeah, so we're basically, this is such a pain because now that we're introducing promises and async, this is a really good example, chat. If you've never heard the term function coloring before, function coloring is when you introduce an asynchronous function in your code, and then that basically bubbles up the stack and makes effectively every calling function asynchronous and and colors them as async. Let me fix up some of my lighting here. Cool, that looks pretty good. So that's what function coloring is, and you can see that happening here because we just probably, I'm not sure. I don't know if I saw that one. So now this is a promise, and we don't have any infix operators for binding promise results. That's really good. That's actually really good. Yep, that perfectly describes what happens. So we could write an infix operator for this or use the operator we just did. So let's say let config equal make context, or actually this will be context. We can write an infix operator later if we want to, but I'm guessing we're probably just going to end up using our let op bindings. And then we'll say this would be let at let's just that'd be JS promise resolve context. Yeah, well, that's gonna have to be an OK actually. Yeah. Okay. So now we come in here and we're gonna say let underscore equals handle bundler. Nice typo. We should be able to say let at. We're gonna have to like lift everything into a promise. That is the syntax. That is the other thing we're gonna need. Right. Where was my syntax? Right here. We are gonna want a binding to effectively something like this, probably. Or maybe we do the pipe on the outside, see how that looks. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. All right, so we're gonna want, actually, let's get ChatGPT to write a nice little ODoc comment for us. Please write a ODoc comment for let in the style of the other comments. And then here we're gonna want to write like let at pipe is a function where we're gonna wanna js.promise.then we get a function v and we say we want to lift it into a result. So I think we probably say this to like result.ok. Something like this. In fact, we should go look at how we did it in here. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, okay. And we'll throw that comment there. Now let's say write one for this now. Okay, that should be good. We should be able to rotate windows. We found 3 windows. Why do we have 3 windows? That doesn't make sense, chat. All right, let's rotate. There we go. Now we should be able to use that let binding we just made, which is let at pipe. So what did we do wrong? Oh, right, it doesn't lift. We did this incorrectly. What's this saying? This is really, yeah, we did this wrong. This is really a result.
Functions describe the world.
Thank you for the resubscription, Badger. Super appreciate you. Look at that setup, a little streamer on his way up. On the up and up. All right, so we actually want to apply our function. It's going to be like js.promise.resolve Is that what we want? That might be what we want. That just made our red squigglies go ignore that comment because it's wrong now. Takes an A to B, and returns a result. So what's this saying this is down here? That's not right. It's not unboxing the result. I think this actually needs to be like result.bind VF, something like this. That unboxes our context. Okay. So that is actually, I think, what we want. Now let's see what our error is over here. This expression is type context A result. An expression, sure. Okay, what's wrong here? It seems like it should be fine to me. This expression has context, comma, A result of a promise. An expression was expected of type B string result. Does this need to be js.promise then? And that's like, what am I doing wrong here? What up, bad cop? Yeah, it should be this. Can I just say okay? Nothing much, just up too late. Classic you. What is the type of context here? I mean, this looks like the right definition that we want. Did we get it right? So then I think we can just keep going, right? Like we can say let at compiled template. Oh, what is this upset about? What do you return? This will just be this is a result. But we can't do that. Can we? I'm so confused about how this is working, chat. What up, Leo? Okay, this seems like the right function. I don't know why. I'm a little confused about why I need this operator here, but not down. So I'm effectively, I'm function coloring here. We're working on porting all of our file system operations from synchronous versions to async. Because for long running operations like npm install or opam init or whatever, synchronously blocking, well, I guess those aren't really good examples. When we were doing synchronous file operations, it was blocking the main thread, right? And that was stopping our loading animation in the actual program. Function coloring, we just, hold on. This is a great example by Ryan Winchester. This was shared in chat a few minutes ago. This is a great example of what function coloring is. Basically, once you introduce one async function, the entire way up the stack, all the parent functions have to become async as well. I thought this was a pretty good meme about function coloring. Okay. So, I mean, this looks right. The bindings are super weird, and I don't fully understand why I would have thought I needed this here for each of the subsequent ones, but you know, I guess not. I don't know. Let's see if this runs still. So let's right quit out of here, and we'll go to CMA, and we'll say create melange app, foobar. Ah, interesting. Right, because we didn't finish going up the stack here. We didn't finish function coloring all of our stuff. So this is now a JS promise, and we want to say we really want to come in here and we want to do js.promise.then, and we're going to take a function. What's this take? This takes a promise, right? So let's say, let's change here and we'll say cma.scaffold.run, something like this. This looks pretty good. Let's comment that. Oh God, I hate reason support in NeoVim. Drives me crazy. So this is going to take a promise, which will be this. We'll just do that for now. And then the first argument is a function. So this will be value, and we'll say is this how we do this? Oh God, I haven't written reason so far. No, because it's not defined correctly. I do have a let operation for that. So like, hold on, we can do that. Be probably better than trying to do this. I did define it correctly, I think. I'll show you. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained right now. Where am I? What is it? Common? Do I have a syntax file? Yeah. So we did right here. The definition for then is the function, then the promise, then the other one. So it's kind of like map, but the function has to return a promise too. So we should be able to say I don't think I have open common. It's officially day 11 of Dylan stalling on Advanced Code. Shh. Shh. You don't have to call me out like that. Syntax.let. Then we should be able to jump down here and we can say here, we want to say let star. We'll just say underscore equals CMA scaffold dot run. We can pass the configuration. I guess I have to right. I can't do that because use effect requires a unit to unit. So we do need to use the dot then. Oh, just pipe it to ignore. Or are you saying this? Well, I need the result. I need the result because that is what dictates that the program can move to the next stage. We're basically using the result as a flag to move forward in rendering the next component. You can go let promise equal all the let start code. So you're saying let promise equals, we make a new scope here. And we do this, all the let code, let star underscore equals this. And the ignore goes after the new scope. So you're saying right here, or you ignore the promise. I see. So you're saying promise, ignore, something like that. Weird. I don't really understand this completely. So in the new scope, we create a promise, and there we use all the let niceness. Instead of leaking the let star. Ah, clever. So this will be our result. So really we want to we want to go, so be our result, and we'll say match result, or it's not match, switch result. Okay. And then we say sum and error. Oh wait, yeah, we need to set the compilation. So I must have done this option.none. But really in here, we want to wait, now I'm confused what I just did. Oh yeah, because we're completely changing all this. This just returned a unit before. I don't even think it returned a result. Or must have. Yeah. Yeah. So we just want to set the result in state. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Okay, we're building successfully. Let's see if this works. Don't give anyone ideas. Okay. We can delete this now. And let's jump over here. We should be able to do this now. V, yes, yes. Okay, you saw how that pause there? That pause in the rotation of that is another synchronous file operation happening. But if we change into foobar, this should be super cool because now we should have a Doom project with foobar filled out. Yep, look at that. That's sweet. And if we look at our package JSON, we should, oh no. Oh no, we don't have our V dependencies. That's okay, we didn't actually wire everything up. But we're getting there. So let's go fix that. We function colored everything on the way out, which makes migrating the rest of this super easy now. Let's have ChatGPT write the, I'll do it for this one. GPT. Let's make sure that's right. Let at pipe var equals v binds var to the result of applying function f to v. V is a result, all within a resolve promise. Yeah, sure. That's close enough. Okay, so let's go back to our scaffold. Man, we gotta clean up these files. What is this song? We get stuck in like the 60s for a second. All right, so our handle bundler function didn't appear to work there. Ah, right, so this should be context. This should be context. we're just going to keep shadowing over and over, and that should actually fix our bug. Now we should get this filled out correctly. And we go ahead and we run this again. Beat, yes. Change into foobar. Actually, we can just cat out foobar. There we go. Look at that, chat. Properly filled out. So fracking cool. I'm really pleased with how this plugin system came out. So let's delete this stuff. Boom. So we need to change the way we're instantiating or adding our plugins, because we're going to actually get rid of this handle bundler step and handle get and handle npm. And rather than having these explicit steps here, we're basically going to have a function that scans our configuration and adds plugins to our plugins list based on our configuration values, and then we're going to run them. So every plugin module has a run command which accepts the context. Right now this wouldn't make any sense to run all our plugins because we only have like if we use Vite, obviously we're not using Webpack 2. So let's comment this out for now, and we're going to come over to our plugins here and just make that an empty list. And that'll be fine. We want to go to our context module, and let's write a function to add a plugin. So let's say val add plugin. Yeah, that's actually exactly what we want. And let's go implement that. Yep, that looks good to me. Perfect. We had to do this nasty recursive module this weekend and throw this all in one file, but it's okay. I might change the way we structure our plugin module, but it's fine for now. So next, let's migrate our bundler. So here we get our configuration T. So we should be able to say let plugins equals an empty list, and then we'll say we'll match. Actually, we can go ahead and just make this the result of our match. And this will be configuration.bundler. Yep. And we'll just annotate this as a module plugin.s list. Yep, there we go. And we'll jump down to plugins. There's that. So that should get us working on that now. So now we need to write a function that's like handle plugins or run plugins. Let run plugins, and that'll take a context, which will be a context.t, and we'll say list.fold left, and this is probably pretty close. That actually might be perfect. What does our plugin return? A context. Yeah. Good morning, Nightshade. How are we doing on this lovely Monday? So if we ever bomb out on one of our plugins, we just, yeah, that's exactly what we want. Nice, Pedro. What monitor did you get? So we should be able to, we want to run our plugins before we compile our templates. So let's say run plugins, and this can be an @ now. So theoretically, if we built this correctly, we should still work here. In fact, we need to refactor these into plugins, but we can do that in a quick moment. Adele, I think I have that monitor. Let me see. Is that the G-Sync version? Oh, no, I don't have this one. Yeah, mine's only 2K. This looks super nice though. Here, I'll bring it over so chat can see. I don't know why I went to Dell.com instead of Amazon, but did you get the 27-inch? Yeah, I'm guessing U27 is the 27. Yeah, yep. Nice. If I might actually, does this have G-Sync? Or NSYNC? Either or, I don't really care. G-Sync is a technology by NVIDIA that sorry, I got distracted by my stream elements. G-Sync basically helps when you're gaming synchronize your frame rate without having to use things like V-Sync. That's like a really simple explanation for it. I'm not an expert on it, but it's a monitor technology for like refresh rates. Man, that had to be hilarious because I just like felt myself get so distracted to like stop that thought. Like that was so bad. I gotta turn off this space heater. So let's run create melange at foobar, v, clear the directory. Boom. All right, so we did something wrong. Oh no, our binding's wrong. You see the text blur with 2K monitor? No. I'm just getting ready to build a new PC in the new year, and I might upgrade my monitors. I'm not sure. I love my monitors though. Undefined is not an object. Evaluating PDAT. This is going to be a real big bummer because it's going to be hard to debug. So let's go look at the JS and see if we see anything obvious. Good morning, Solo Rogue. Welcome to stream and chat. Appreciate you hanging out. We wanted to go look at common, syntax.js. I think it was this one. That actually seems right though. Great pipe eq2. Great pipe. There was a $sign. That's hilarious. It was this one. This guy right here. So where are we using this? Did that give us a good stack trace at all? Copy baster. So scaffold, file system. So file system line 37. And we want to go to line 37. I don't think that was right, unless it's over here. Oh yeah, it might be over here. So I might have a binding wrong. Let's go see what that code actually looks like. Should be in this file. And then somewhere in here. We do use our infix operator. Where are we infixing? We're mapping to results. So it's saying that this isn't giving a promise. So we made like I wrote this, but maybe this isn't right. It seems like it should be right. It might be. So fsextra.copy, this should return a promise, okay. Yeah, it's because promises use the thenable interface, which is so dumb. I hate that they chose to do that. It's the dumbest thing. Like, they should have implemented promises. And like, promises are already a class. So like, I don't know why they wouldn't have just done like an instance of check, but instead they check the presence of a then field. And if then is present, they just basically recursively call then. And it's so dumb. Really grinds my gears, rustles my jimmies that they didn't use an instance of check. So we're probably going to want to install this, huh? Can I install this with OCaml? This probably doesn't even work. I probably have to write new bindings. Yeah. I mean, we could copy this. All right, so rather than using our nice infix operators and let out bindings, we're gonna have to just use the .then function, I think, which is okay. It's annoying, but it's okay. Yeah, I think that probably is the problem, Lesby. Well, we can refactor this one function and see if our error message changes, and that will give us, or at least point us in the right direction. So we get this promise, and here, let's break this down, and we'll say js.promise.then, and we'll have this function. We'll ignore the and we'll say at, and we'll get rid of this. And we probably want to get rid of this let op, maybe. Or maybe it's... I kind of think these might be okay, but we'll find out in a second. See you, Nightshade. Have a safe commute. All right, let's see if that does any better. Does that get us to a new line? I think that did get us to a new line. We'll run scaffold, and copy baster is still the problem. So let's try getting rid of this, and this will be promise. And what do we want to say here? That's a promise. I kind of like writing this the other way, but we'll refactor that in a second. These actually don't even need to be results now. And then we can simplify this, I think. So that's a unit promise. Oh, right. We don't need... I think we can just delete to F, and we can delete that, do that. What's this return? Oh, right, we have this pipe over here. Okay. Right, so this actually needs to be js.promise.then. I think, yeah. And this is gonna say this is a unit, right? And we can say js.promise, yeah. Okay, I think that is what we want there. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely annoying. Let's see if that does, we still have an error in this file. Where at? Oh, we just don't use let. That's fine. Okay. Do we still use this anywhere? Yeah, I guess we do. Okay. Let's do that. And we'll come up here and we'll do... Okay, that looked pretty good. Let's change directory to foobar and let's vim in. All right, we deleted our config files. Let's check our package JSON. Okay, we got, that looks good. And let's check our Doom project. That also looks good. Okay, so that was the problem, Lesp. Annoying, but okay. Well, in the end, I kind of want to, yeah, I need to write a to-do. To-do open issue on the launch repo for improving promise js.promise.error. I want this typed as an actual JavaScript error rather than a opaque type because I can't get the error message out of this without using obj.magic. What up, Bork1C? How you doing this morning? Happy Monday. Okay, so that looks good. What's next? Let's jump back to our scaffold.ml and we want to convert, yes, we want to convert Git to a plugin. So let's go to our Git file in this directory and let's vsplit this open and look at Vite. And let's say module plugin equals struct n, and then we'll say module command equals struct end, and we'll say, come down here, we'll copy that, throw that in there, and instead of this being that, we'll say git, and we have this here, we have this run. Yeah, this is one we're going to want to convert to a promise to. Are we going to have to function color this though? That's going to be a pain in the ass. We are. We are going to have to function color our plugin system. Okay, that's okay. Annoying, but okay. So this is actually going to be a js.promise.t. Yeah, I know, very annoying. Yep. All right, what are we missing now? That returns a promise, that returns a promise. This does not return a promise right now. So this is going to return a promise now. So let's say well, maybe extend template doesn't need to do it right away. We can come to that when we need it. Extend template. What's this upset about? All right, so we should just be able to say pipe this to JS promise.resolve. What's the current function? Y. E.extend template. Okay, that should give us our template thing. That should be good. Thank you. Ah, right. Because this, if we get an error, we have to match on this actually. So let's say, we'll say let result equals, this is actually a result, right? We can't return from that because we have to map it. No. We should just function color everything. Updated template, value, promise. And we'll go up here, and this will be a js.promise.t. And then this will be a js.promise.t. And then we'll come down here. And we'll say this is now a promise.t. And we'll say js.promise.then. And it's going to take our, that might be right. No, I just want to write this myself. What up, Plank? All right, what's this saying this is returning now? Right, we want to return the context. It says extend template, return our context out. It does not. So we update, yeah, so we want to come in here and say js.promise.then. And then, what's the signature? It takes a function. So we'll take updated template value. That's actually pretty close. Don't know why that is there like that. And let's assign this to a variable. And what does it think this is? Right, we have to then say updated template promise here. Let's toggle our diagnostics while we work through this. So this should be our, this should be a result. We want to say match updated template value with error. And our OK will be this. This is actually going to be a result. So let's say result. That looks good. We reject. This is super, super annoying. Because I guess we end up returning, actually in this case, we end up just returning updated, doing that. We don't even do that. And down here, this would get our package JSON. We get our key. We have our updated template value. We turn it into an OK. That looks reasonable. So this is a ET string. This is going to return our context, which we pipe into result.ok, and then we resolve it. Oh, right. This is really a pain in the ass. I kind of hate this. OCaml man lace pipes. So we like, this is so stupid. Because then we effectively have to do like jds.promise.then here. And we say fun. We ignore the value. And we just return the context. We say OK context. Even though we know that's not going to happen. Something like that. That gets closer. So now what's this return? Still not quite right. Do we just say js.promise.reject? That's not even a function, I don't think. Checked. No, that's not right. Because that would be a string. We know this is a string. Let's not even let the type system screw this up for now. This is a string. And we know this is wrong. I don't even know what to do here. It's hard. Wrapping promises in results, or wrapping results in promises is super not ergonomic, is what I'm finding. Because we explicitly have to map the inner type. Even if it's an error, we still have to map the inner type. Just use Python. How about no, Doug? Is it how about no, Scott? I don't remember. How about no, Scott? Okay, hold on. Let's rethink this. So we have a promise here. Our promise is our updated template value and a result. And we want to say it's not going to reject because it's already a result, right? We know it's not going to reject. We just need to map it, right? I mean, I just wrote the same exact function. So we get a result and we say, if our result is an error, we just want to we just return a new promise, right? We'll do js.promise.resolve. Yeah, error. And then down here, let's see if that got us what we want. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Okay. Yeah, and we can write a nice utility function to effectively do this same thing for us. So this will be I think we should be able to just return that. So this should now return why does it? Oh, because this can return an error. Right. I guess we can just I think we wrote a let binding for this, but it could be, I don't really trust our let bindings right now, like at all. We have this this let app pipe. Which gets us closer, but still not correct. So that's an ET string result. So I guess we just pattern match here instead. This is really, we're gonna have to, I don't want to waste time figuring out the right way to do this now, but this will be a result. We'll say let template value equals match template value result with thank you for the follow. Did that play the noise, Leo? Because I didn't hear it in my headphones, which is weird. I haven't heard any of the point redemptions. Thought it was a sample of TJ for the longest time. That's really funny. So we have to convert this to a promise. Actually, so rather than doing that, we have to wrap this. We just want to pipe this to promise.js.promise.resolve, I guess. And that becomes a promise. And then we say js.promise.then. And we get our template value. Let's call this template value promise. Fun, this will be template value. And then I think we can just come down here and paste that there. And this has to come down here. Paste that there. We've got so many syntax errors that I'm just ignoring right now. I just think I might have screwed up my audio through my headphones. So I think, let's see here. This should now be our template value. Although our template value should be a result. So let's come back down here and let's just work through this bit by bit. This is wrong. So we'll say in this function, let's pass the template value promise, and this will be, we'll say match template value. This is actually result. With, yep, and if it's okay, we get our template value, and we say e.extend template value.
The world.
We can get rid of that line. And what's this say? If we come here, thank you for the follow, Stephen, 1999. Did you guys definitely hear the thing? Like, I'm not getting any of that audio. It was pretty quiet. So that's coming from stream elements. Here, maybe somebody with OBS expertise can help me here. So can you guys see OBS? So we're rocking on the default to stream here, and point redemptions come through Twitch alerts, and then the follows come through stream elements. So if I look at the properties for stream elements, it says control audio via that, which I thought was what got it in my headphones. Oh, we cannot see OBS? Oh, that's weird. Okay, hold on. HODL. Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to see OBS. So point redemptions comes from Twitch alerts, and the follows and subscriptions come from stream elements. I have this control via OBS, which seems like it should be fine. Our audio here, monitor and output. So having monitor and output should send it through my headphones. Oh, let's see here. Monitor and output. They both look like they should be working. Control audio via OBS. Yeah, I don't know. Average OBS experience. Facts. Just randomly breaks. I didn't change anything with the scene. Like, I know I switched to this when I streamed with Pedro, and I changed some things around. Okay, now I heard it. I heard it on this one. Although I think, Kyle, did you just kick that off yourself? I don't think that was a real person. Can you do it again?
Functions describe the world.
Okay, I heard that. Was that loud for you guys? I wonder if I can change... It's just low relative to the... Yeah, okay, so let's bump this up a little bit. And we can do... Let's bump these down to be like 4. We'll make them the same. I wish I could change my monitor audio. Whatever, it's fine. We can worry about this another time. Okay, let's keep working through this. What is this now? This is a ET string promise. That's what we want. So this won't reject because we're working with results. And then we can just like pipe this to updated template value result. And we can do the same thing where we just match where the error, we just keep passing the error. Yeah, we're definitely gonna wanna write some helpers for this because this is not fun to work with. Context string promise result. That is what we want. Okay, so we can delete this, delete all of that, and now we'll have that there. We have 2 errors now. So that is the kind of thing we want to return. So what's wrong here? I guess we can just pipe this here, delete that, go here, delete the end of the line. Like that should work, right? And now this is just the promise that gets returned. Yeah. So what's our error now? Expecting, where are we missing a paren? That's good. We have a paren there. Oh, that's not right. No, that is right. That's good. That's good. That returns a result. Oh, do we have to resolve this promise? We do. Although extend template should result to a promise now. Right? Yeah, it should. All right, let's turn diagnostics back on. Oh, we forgot the underscore. Skill issue, chat. There we go. So dumb. Not the most beautiful code in the world, but so one thing we should do eventually, let's write a to-do, and we can make a ticket then. To-do, write js.promise what would we call that? Okay then? Like, what we call it, like, okay then? And then if we do that, we'll take a function that takes a value, and it's basically going to handle this match for us and just like pass through the error case. It'll basically be like result.bind, but on a promise, or like bind result. We'll come back to that. But this is effectively what we want. So what is, I'm sure there's all sorts of other broken stuff now. So let's do a clean and just get to a, that's not what we wanted. Also not what we wanted. Oh, I must have bumped my function key at some point. There we go. I'm gonna stand for a bit, chat. Actually, I'm gonna go throw my mug on the charger quick. I'll be right back. And we'll raise the desk in the meantime. This weekend we had someone get within like 100 for winning the keyboard on the point redemption. Somebody rolled like a 7,240 and the winning number was like 7,400. Super close. All right. Let's see here. Let's get Dune build in watch mode again. Yep. And I see that we have a problem in our plugins, right? That makes sense. We have to go edit all these. And we're probably just gonna have to promise resolve here. js.promise .resolve. And we'll do the same thing right here. We'll say js.promise I'm gonna not talk for a little bit, just to get through this, so you guys can get some keyboard SMR here, ASMR. Just give me a quick minute or two to work through this. See you, Kyle. There we go, chat. There we go. Dang. Camel, you did get close. Plank, what did you roll? 34. Oh, dang. That might be the closest yet. I can't wait for somebody to win. All right, let's go see if this works now. So that was a pretty chunky refactor we just did. We just refactored our entire plugin system to be asynchronous. So let's change directory up, delete our foobar project. We'll run create launch app. Boom, boom, beat, beat, beat. Good. And let's change into foobar. And we'll say, let's vim in and let's preview this. Whoops. What is my preview button? Control P. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, everything worked. Awesome. I need to make the winning case much more noisy too. All right, so that's working. Now let's go upgrade our Git. I think we upgraded our Git already. Yeah. What did I just do here? Yep, we want to do that. So let's go back and we want to register our Git extension. Oh, this actually needs to be, does child process have a async API? Ah, chat. Good. What is a spawn result? It's abstract. Great. We might have to write our own node bindings for the child process API because it's probably not fully fleshed out. Let's go to child process. All right, so we're gonna have to write our own bindings for, what's the difference between exec and spawn? Spawn. Shouldn't I have like a, I wish I'd put like a symbol explorer on one of the sides. Spawn. Wait, I still don't understand the difference between spawn and sync, or exec. In Node.js's child process API, what is the difference between spawn and sync? It looks like it has something to do with the way input is passed. Spawn and exec. Okay. It buffers the output. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. We're gonna want to use spawn for things like OPAM though. That's okay. All right, so we're gonna have to write a binding for this, which is totally cool because we have another Node.js wrapper for Node.js binding. So let's come in here and say we have child process.ml, write that. Okay, let's jump in here. We can probably use the other child process we were just looking at. And let's, yeah, so let's say external, we'll just say include Node.js, node.js.node.child process. Do we not have, oh, I guess we don't. We need libraries. And this will be melange.node, I think. Is it just node? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. And now we'll say we have a external exec is going to take a string, we can keep this opaque, I guess, for now. We can copy. I hate that they called that option. That's disgusting. And we'll say returns a string, that'll be just exec, and the module will be so because okay. Exec is, I missed the disgusting. What is disgusting? That they named a opaque type in the Node.js. Well, this is coming from the old buckle script stuff, but they like shadowed option, which is like stupid. Like, why would you do that? Whatever. I know the Melange team has, they were talking in their Discord, or maybe it was, they were talking somewhere, they're going to rewrite the Node.js bindings and also ship a bun bindings. So I know that's on their roadmap. They inherited this from Buckle Script and Bloomberg. Bundings? Oh, that is so good, Leo. Okay. And this actually does not return. I mean, this is technically right, but we want to wrap it in the promisify, which I doubt we have bindings for. But let's go check. Just it would be like under node. Let's go up a directory. Let's go to node, and let's look for. Do we promisify it anywhere? No. Module. Is it under here? No. So let's write a quick binding for promisify. I think that's under the utilities. So I think ODoc is really good and really useful. I think it's a boon to the ecosystem, but I also think there's a lot of progress that can be made with it. I think we could get a lot of bang for our buck with just a little bit of effort and improvement to it. Yeah, I think ODoc is pretty unique and special to OCaml, and I think with just a little bit of love and care to it, it could be like really, really good. So let's write, what is this, util? Util.ml. Okay, and we want promisify. How do I get the nice little icons in my terminal? What icons? Good morning.
Did you look at your grass this morning?
No.
Popped off.
The little camel one? I don't know. It just kind of worked. It's probably CMVim. It is probably a result of one of my plugins, and it comes from web. Yeah. It's gonna come from this right here. This nvim web dev icons, I assume. Oh yeah. I also have my NeoVim comment, or my NeoVim config super heavily commented, Leo, to explain the what and why of things. It's not perfect, but it's better than a lot of dot files I've seen, if I do say so myself. And if you have any questions or want help configuring NeoVim, I love doing NeoVim configurations. So yeah, I would be more than happy to help you configure. All right, let's jump back. I don't even know how to express this type. It takes a function. So we're gonna have external promisify. Let's see if Melange Mentor can do this for us.
Functions describe the
Let's just
world.
pass it the docs. And let's go to ChatGPT, and we have our lovely Melange Mentor. That's primed with the Melange docs. Let's see if we can do it. Here is the documentation for Node.js's util.promisify function. Could you please write bindings for the promisify function in Melange? We're gonna have to use like I think we're gonna have to uncurry. Promisify is a function that has a to be B to B of js.promise.t, and it's going to equal util, or no, it's going to be promise of I, and then it'll be at mel.module and util. I put the ticks on the wrong side. And I think we need to say this is uncurried. I don't think unit's what we want. Do we need to use @u or at mel.uncurry? Wasting time configuring NeoVim is NeoVim's killer feature. See, I spent a weekend last fall writing my NeoVim config as an exercise in learning how to use Vim key bindings in NeoVim. And I've definitely spent time in here and there, like messing with my config, but I haven't put like huge time sinks into it like everyone talks about. Is this what we really want? Shouldn't this return a new function and not a... Shouldn't promisify... So here we're saying this is taking a function to A to B. No, this needs to be at mel.uncurry. Or no. How do we say this? No, it should be that, right? What did I do wrong? Is that right? Unused attribute. Have you built nvim config on something like Astro nvim? Mine's fully custom, 50 bytes. What's up, Vincer? Maybe I say this is, maybe I use the U, and this should probably also be well, maybe we don't even need that. Or we do, I think. Maybe. Yeah, saying it, yeah. Lua is just such a pleasant scripting language for doing configuration. I really enjoy it. So I know our child process is wrong, right? Because this is going to take, the real definition is going to be like, we missed the callback here. Is this exec? And our callback, what is our callback? Error, and we get standard out. So this is going to be, instead, it's going to be a function that gets it's going to get error, and it's going to get standard out, and it's going to get standard error, and then it's going to return it probably doesn't return anything. It probably returns unit, I would assume. Right, our callback. Yeah, I assume that returns a unit. And then we want to say this is going to be at, I swear we can use mat or mel.uncurry here. What do the docs say about mel.uncurry? I am always so confused between the difference between uncurry and @u. So we just have to wrap it in an additional layer. Yanks around that with that, and then we jump over here and we paste that there. What? That feels right? I'm not crazy? Right, we have one more thing to do here. This is going to return, let's just say a unit real quick. Okay, so we got mel and curry working, but what does child process actually return? It returns a child process, which has what on it? This event emitter thing. We're just gonna make an opaque type quick. And we'll say this is gonna return a child process. And then we want external, actually we don't even need to do external. We can say let exec async will equal util.promisify exec. Great. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I feel pretty good about this definition. I guess, yeah, okay. Oh, it's because this takes 3 things, right? Maybe we can't promisify. I mean, we can do it ourselves, right? But you could say async exec is going to be We're going to take a string. We're going to take a child process option. And then we're going to take, that's all we're going to do. And we're going to come down and we'll say let promise equal js.promise.make. Yeah, actually we don't even need to return this. We'll just say make. This is going to be pretty close. All right, what's this upset about? This expression is type child process, but was expecting a type unit. What up, Cravo? How's it going? We're doing pretty well. We're just writing some Node.js bindings here. So resolve. Oh, all good. Sorry about that. I'm doing well. We're writing some bindings. Basically, we're updating our file system bindings to be asynchronous, our bindings to Node.js. And we're also working on writing a binding to the exec function in child process and making that async as well. Let's see here. We actually can probably clean this up even more rather than using generics for this. Let's go to exec again. And this gets a error, which I assume we have a JavaScript error type. Let's say this is js.error exception dot error dot t. And then standard out will be a string. And standard error will be a string, although they're probably buffers. Let's write a to-do. These may be buffers. You can say this is going to be standard out, and we'll say this is standard in, or standard error, excuse me. And let's update our error message to say standard out and stand error maybe buffers. Although I think we can pass a configuration option that lets us force it be a string. Is that an animated background? No. I'm watching your lives trying to understand some OCaml. Sweet. I appreciate you tuning in. OCaml's a ton of fun. Actually, this can be like... this is more like oh, how do we even type this? Error of, I think we have to do this, and we'll say error of js.exception.t, or it'll be null of js.null.t, and then we can say at mel or at mel.unbox or unwrap. Okay. How do you, is there anything that controls whether these are going to be strings or buffers? Does anyone know? I'm going to switch. I want to go to normal ChatGPT. There we go. When using Node.js's child process exec function in the callback, what controls whether standard out and standard error are strings or buffers? Thank you so much, Fazian. My keyboard is this, and we also have a point redemption for 1,000 bytes that can give you a 1 in 10,000 chance to win the keyboard, or win a similar keyboard. If you provide an encoding in the options object, will be strings encoded as per the specific. For example, if you set encoding to UTF-8, the option would be 8. Ah, okay. Okay, so let's say our option, let's say type child process option is going to be a thing that has encoding on it, and it'll be a we'll say UTF-8, and we'll say at mel.as eight, and then we can say we need to give that a backtick. And we can say this is going to be at optional. It should be an option. And then we'll say at mel.optional. We say at, and then we say at deriving abstract. Something like this. What did I do wrong? Okay, so we go to the end, and we say that. General Concavity just went frickin' ham. All right, so what are we doing wrong here?
Functions describe.
Oh,
the
it's because we
world.
included... Oh my god, it's because options overrode. That's so annoying. There we go. So this is going to take a child process option. And then down here. Thank you for the follow, Grip. All right, so this will be error or null. This will be a string. This will be a string. We can delete this line actually entirely, and we'll say, yep. This is close to what we want. We do that. So OCaml is another programming language. We're using a tool called Melange, and Melange is a compiler to compile OCaml to JavaScript. And what we're doing right now is we're writing bindings from OCaml to JavaScript libraries. All right, we're getting closer. That'll be our error. This should be a string. String. And this should also be a string. So resolve should return a unit. That's weird, right? Shouldn't resolve... Welcome to Streen. I have no idea how to say your handle. I apologize. Modfar, or Hana, or Waz. Modfar Hana Waz. Nice. Nailed it. Thank you for the follow, Hazmat.
Describe the world. Functions describe the world.
And thank you for the follow, Modfar Hanawaz. That's pretty hysterical, Badger. All right, what in the hail are we doing here? So reject is a function. Am I doing this thing wrong again? I'm having a tough time understanding how this promise.make works. Can you show me an example of how js.promise.make works? Because like in JavaScript, right, we would just do like, it would literally be just like new promise, and you get a function that gets ya and na, which we'll just say resolve and reject. And then we would run our function in here and we would resolve the value, but resolve, oh, wait. Morning, Meta. See, I'm troubleshoot your. How do I add this permanently? Keep in sidebar. All right, let's try this one out. This needs to finish. Sure. Doesn't look like it finished. So we'll go to Camel Genie. Isn't that what I'm doing though? Write an example function using this type definition. Oh, damn it, I just missed NoahCon. Let's listen to NoahCon for the Let's Just Stream. I'm getting frustrated. Is a function of type A to unit, which should be fine, right? So like reject should also return a unit. And what does make need to return? It needs to return a unit. So do we just say like that does return a unit. We love Folk Malone. Needs to be uncurried. So what do we say here? Like at you. Resolve. Yeah. It's probably the same with this. Ah, right. Sure, we'll make it return a promise. To do figure out if this is okay as a return type. All right, so we're getting closer. The function should have type standard out string. These are named now, right? And we'll say this is standard error as that. What's wrong here? All right, we're getting closer. This should be an exception, right? And reject once a exception. What? Where does the exception come from? Type exn. Oh, right. Is it just do we definitely need these? Yeah, I guess we do. Okay, whatever. I'm not convinced that's right, but it's pretty close. Okay, I guess let's try that. We'll go back to our Git. And down here, this is going to change to oh, that is how we use a child process. So I guess we can use that type. So we can go back. What was that in? That was in child process. And we can actually say that this is going to be node.childProcess.option. Yeah. So here we can say it'll be node.js dot child process dot async exec, and we want to say we're going to do, what is it, git init and git add options, and that returns a string promise, which we can ignore. what do? We say js.promise.then. We can just pass ignore, I think. Ignore. Oh, right. We'll have to do ignore value, and then we'll have to resolve it, which we can just say js.promise.resolve. Typo, classic me. Okay. Async exec. Can I do that? That's not what we want. Because run has to pass the context back out. Because it's possible for plugins to mutate the context, or update the context, I should say. So we do want this. We also probably want to promise. We probably want to catch too. And we should actually say result.ok. And then pipe that in. And then we'll catch. And we'll say okay. Can I get the message out of an error? Can we say like js.error.exception.message? Yeah. We do like js.exception.message error. No, I have to wrap in parens. Do we think that's actually an exception? Or do we think that's an error? I'm inclined to think that this is like a js.exception.error or js. How did I get that type? js.promise.error. I know I don't want to I don't want to use object magic, but I know they do that in the actual module down here. Error as exception. I don't know why it's commented out. Because I don't think there's a null equivalent of this yet. No, that's literally how they did it before. So we can just like make our own. Fuck it. We're just gonna ignore this value. And we're gonna come down here and we'll say failed to initialize get. And we just can't get the error message out right now. And that's fine. All right, this should now return a JS promise where we get a. I still don't think that's right. I really think this is going to be a JS that. whatever. We'll just keep it like that. I don't really know what's going to happen when we run this. So we actually want to map. That's a string. And we want to resolve. In fact, we can probably skip this step. We can probably just say js.resolve the context. Yeah, I think that's what we want. So down here then, we copy our files, which just should return a promise now, because that's going to be let's just change this to be a promise. And let's rename this to be sync. And down here, we'll say this is copy file. And this will be, actually we have all that code already. So we can just say fs extra dot copy, and it'll take file path and dest, and we'll pipe that into js.promise.then, and this will take a function returns a unit. Okay. So I guess we want to just catch the error. Oh, we want to return an okay. Right. Sorry, chat. What is happening? 1 second. Sounds like someone... Dude, Baxter sounds like he's dying. So we one of the dogs we watched.
Good Lord, chat. Good Lord. One of the dogs that we watched just got dropped off, and Winnie is being an asshole. Okay. Well, I have, yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I have 3 dogs, and then we also watch dogs. We used to do Rover, but then we got off Rover, so Rover didn't take a cut, and we just watch a bunch of our neighbors' dogs for extra money. And Winnie can sometimes be a bitch. And Baxter screeches like a dying animal. So we'll take that and we'll just say, this is gonna, what are we gonna do here? We're just gonna return an OK unit. We'll say js.promise.resolve, and this will be OK and a unit. And then we want to catch, right? We'll pipe that and we'll say js.promise.catch, and we'll get a function that will have okay. We'll say that, and we'll return js.promise.resolve, and we'll say error, and then we'll use this string up here. We're not going to use this exactly, but it's going to be close. What up, Sally? We don't want this last one because we can't get it, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. Have you read the Practical OCaml book or whatever it's called? Real World OCaml? Maybe? So what's this say? We get a unit string result. I've read bits and pieces of it. The book I prefer is the Cornell course. CS. I think it's Cornell. I get this wrong every time. Hopefully I got it now. Yeah, Cornell. I prefer this book. And it is a YouTube series with it. Okay, so we now have this async function, so we should be able to go back to get. And in here, this should now return a promise. And we want to, what do we want to do here? This should be a fold left now. So change fold left, and our initial value will be a js.promise.resolve and then we'll get our ACK, which is really our promise. And then we say js.promise then. And we say here, promise. And we're going to get our promise value. And this will be our result. And this should be an actual result, right? Yep. And then we'll say if result dot is error. Then we promise resolve the result, and we keep going. Else we do this, and then we say, we're getting pretty close here. This becomes a, that looks good. Yep. It says type promise unit. Oh, right. We just say okay. Okay. And now we can delete this line and we just do, rather than promise.resolve, we say promise.then, and we say function. Yep. Nope. Or what did we do before? We return the context. Other we say okay js.promise .resolve, something like this. We pipe that in. Should have something like this. Expression has a type unit. Yeah, right. Oh, I guess we have to just actually do a pattern match here. So we say match. Hold on. Delete that, and then we'll do a match on result. Okay, it's not run. It'll be js.promise.resolve, okay, context, and if we have an error, we say js.promise resolve error error. Yeah, there we go. Wow, what a pain in the ass. But that is what we want. We're definitely going to want to write helper functions to do this for us. I thought the only way to make CLIs in OCaml was using React. That's what Dylan told me. I think you have a listening problem, Meta. I would not recommend doing what I'm doing, but we're doing it to demonstrate a launch. Sally, you're probably going to want to look at command liner. In fact, I'm not sure if Leandro's still here, but he has a tutorial on using command liner, which is really good. Our good friend made... yeah, React is in here, Leandro. If you look at our components, where is our init? This is how it renders. We wrote bindings to a library called Ink. Well, we actually are using React for multiple reasons. The first reason is that OCaml doesn't have, at least that I found, any nice libraries for like making really nice like TUI apps. At least that I could find, something like Charm or Bubble Tea. So it didn't have that. And I also wanted to use, I also kind of wanted to demonstrate in the actual code base of Create Melange app what it's like to actually use Melange. But it is past time. I lost track of time here. We gotta wrap up chat. For anyone new, I stream every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. To 10 a.m. Thank you for tuning in. Let's raid. Let's raid Ben. Well, I guess I'll let chat decide. Anyone have a strong preference on who we raid here? We can go to Zig. We can go to JavaScript. We can go to Rust. Another Rust stream. Golang. What are we feeling? All right, we got basically 3 Zigs. Let's do it. All right, chat. I will catch you tomorrow morning. Thank you all for hanging out as usual. I appreciate all of you.